Let's take a look at the downward spiral of the children of Trump over the last few days since we learned of the Trump indictment. We are not going to be talking about Ivanka here. Ivanka just put out kind of a very short statement on Instagram saying she's heard from people all over the political spectrum concerned about what's going on. Very, very, very vague. Ivanka does seem to be wanting to stay far from politics after the disaster of her first 4 years of involvement in politics. We then go to Donald Trump Jr., who now has a show on Rumble, and the downward spiral really continues. It's actually kind of getting sad. And listen, I'm sure it is very difficult for your father to be indicted. I'm sure it is. Also, it's not, we know that Trump doesn't seem necessarily to be the biggest fan of his adult male children, but that's another story. Anyway, here is Don Jr. just dissembling.
This is clearly an attempt to intimidate a journalist, and yet the rest of journalism, the rest of the media, strangely silent. Guys, listen. Maybe coincidences happen, but not anymore in 2023. I don't believe in this much coincidence. And if you've been watching literally anything for like the last 6 years, you shouldn't either. The fact that the IRS showed up at Matt Taibbi's house on the same day that he testified before Congress and their new committee investigating the weaponization of the federal government is a little bit beyond ironic or suspicious. It's absolutely insane. Okay? Matt Taibbi's opening statement on the Twitter files. Twitter, Facebook, Google, and other companies developed a formal system for taking in moderation requests from every corner of government. FBI, DHS, HHS, DOD, the Global Engagement Center, et cetera, et cetera. That's his opening line. And we think that it's a coincidence that the IRS knocks on his door that day.
All right. So what this all has to do with Donald Trump is unclear. Why Junior's eyes are almost completely swollen shut, we don't know. That seems to be similar to his own dad. And here is Donald Trump Jr. during his Rumble show, really just furious about this entire thing.
I was proven even more right than I would have ever imagined, because
is that even possible? Then nobody's been more right than Don Jr. about everything, I guess.
Apparently, Soros-backed Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg.
Okay. And again, I don't know why he says Soros-backed, but if he means George Soros-backed, we've looked at this in detail. Remember, George Soros funds hundreds of programs. One of the programs George Soros funds is a PAC that helps to get DAs elected. One of the DAs that was helped by that PAC is Alvin Bragg. There has never been any contact between Alvin Bragg and George Soros. There has never been any communication one way or the other about a Trump investigation. That's the connection that they're talking about. They want you to think Soros is calling Alvin Bragg and saying, indict Trump.
Is actually indicting my father. So let's be clear, folks.
Yeah.
This is like communist level This is stuff that would make Mao, Stalin, Pol Pot, it would make them blush. It's so flagrant. It's so crazed. When even like the radical leftists of the Washington Post are out there saying, it's not really based on facts. It's not really based on the law. It's not really based in reality, but it's 100% based on politics. When your enemies are saying that, it's got to tell you everything you need to know right now about where we are as a country.
Yeah, where we are is, it turns out that the one-man crime spree that was Donald Trump isn't above the law just because he was president. That's what it tells us, and that is a good thing.